What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the Sheehan Show with me, Sean Sheehan, here on Sherdog.com. Today, I am back with my review for the PFL MENA 2024 card, which went down on November 29th, 2024, over in the King Saud University Stadium in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. I'm also going to look at the showcase fights here today. I have another video out, actually, looking at the PFL Global card. I'm not sure if it'll be out before or after this, but check that out anyway. It will be out in the Sherdog YouTube, looking at the Hizriev Loknan fight, the Santos Dacheva fight, the Yashimurdov Kasanganai, Umalatov Masayev, Rabadanov Primus, and Golsov against Popov fights. But I'm going to look at all the rest of the fights here on this today. And honestly, those fights were very good. The MENA fights, the showcase fights, were also really, really good. I was talking to a friend of mine, Ian O'Neill, as people know, and he was saying, what should I watch from the MENA card? And I went through it there literally just 10 seconds ago here before we started. And I went through, how many fights were there? 10 fights? I'd say I probably told him maybe to watch 8 of them, maybe. That's how good it was, you know. So, very, very good evening's work. A very good card, a very long card, let's be honest. I think this might have, I'm just going to throw this out there, whether it's true or not. I think it might have had the most 5-round fights of any fight card ever. There was 10 5-round fights in it. Now, only 2 of them went to the 5 rounds, which was absolutely great, but a long, long, long day. I sit down to watch these at 12 o'clock, and it's now 11 o'clock at night. So now I've recorded one podcast already and everything like that. But still, it's a long day, but it's a good day. It was an enjoyable day. And, you know, I've said it before, look, we'll talk more about this in the end of the year podcast, but I think especially with Saudi, I think they could do a weekend. I think a PFL weekend, especially like there's no UFC tomorrow night as well, you know, on Saturday night. I think it'd be perfect. But anyway, that's a discussion for another day. We've 10 fights to talk about. Let's get straight into them. I'll tell you the one piece of criticism I would have for this, because as I said, brilliant card, some brilliant fights. I think the PFL MENA overall was an absolute triumph. There was some great matchmaking, great fights. People emerged. The one criticism I'd have, they put the Marwan Belaguti fight against Abdul Al-Qatani as the kind of the main event of this, when neither of the two lads actually qualified for the finales. This probably should have been the first one, you know, and have the other 3 above it, whichever one you want to top it out. But you know, that's neither here nor there, I suppose, and the crowd enjoyed it, and the crowd really got behind these fights. So let's get into it. Let's talk about that first. Hard right hand to start it off by Belahout. And it was interesting because, like, he took this fight in short notice. Al-Qatani did as well, I suppose, but he took it on very short notice. Some lovely jabs from Al-Qatani after that, and then he dropped Bella with a Belahout. We'll go with Bella. we'll go with Bella, because I'm terrible at pronouncing these guys out. Dropped him with a right hand, recovered immediately. You know, and this must be testament to, you know, the training he's doing and how in shape he was, because usually a guy on short notice gets dropped like that. Very tough to recover from it, but he did. Both were very fast. Belaguit landed a huge right hand after that, landed a nice leg kick as well. And then Al-Qatani caught him with a lovely combination coming in. So it was a very good start to this. Fast, free-flowing, very, very high-level fight, I would say. Al-Qatani then rocked him with a couple of right hands. Marwan was eating so many counters, and that was the thing. Like, Marwan was throwing his shots, landing his shots, but Abdul Al-Qatani was just landing so much better on the counter. Not just better, harder, cleaner, more devastating. And it must be so tough when you're doing well, but when what you're doing well is forcing you into doing, you know, exactly what you don't want to do as well, which is getting eaten up on the feet. And that's exactly what was happened here. Al-Qatani then landed a huge left hook. Marwan was kind of considered, took it and threw back. Then there was a massive right hand by Al-Qatani. Marwan looked absolutely done here, but he went on. Then he got to the clinch, but then he got dropped in it. hit hard out of the clinch, and that was it. The referee came in and stopped it. Very, very fun fight as long as it went. You could see those last couple of shots. After that first right hand, he looked done. He kind of held on, but then you got dropped the second time and finished. That was that. Very, very good performance from both guys, I would say. But Al-Qahtani got the win, and got the $100,000, and I suppose he'll probably be back next year again and in that tournament again for another shot at it. Then we had Omar El-Dafrawi against Muhammad Al-Akra, whose name I absolutely butchered in the preview. But Omar started it off in southpaw, and he looked good. Muhammad was thrown hard and immediately tried for a takedown, but got to the clinch. Muhammad got the trip straight back up. Omar landed a lovely body kick, and he landed it twice in a row. Then there was a tie clinch, and both landed. Anyone who knows me knows I'm a big fan of the tie clinch, but also shots from the tie clinch, and both were landing them there. Muhammad Al-Akra, I thought his power shots were very effective here, and he landed a lovely one. But then Omar kind of got to the clinch again and landed a lovely few shots there. They had a couple of Don Fry style clinches in there, but the power, I said, of Muhammad Al-Akra was very, very good. He got to the clinch again. He was trying that same trip all the time, was Al-Akra. It was kind of the prolonged clinch after that. Muhammad grabs the back. He eventually throws Omar down. Got back up, mat return, up again, then got to kind of a knee, but then there's a big slam by Muhammad, takes the back on the ground, went for the rear naked choke late, but it was never going to be in there. Then the second round started, leg kicks from both. Omar landed a nice body kick. Muhammad landed a lovely jab and then a knee to the body. Then there was a kick, a low kick, and there was a kind of a long stoppage there. Low kick by Muhammad. And you're thinking, okay, there's a bit of a stoppage here. How are they going to get back at it? Then Muhammad goes for a single leg, short left hand, and then, Omar goes for a single leg. Omar lands a short left hand, and while he holds onto the single leg, Omar throws these big, massive hammer fists. And they finish Muhammad Al-Akra in the single leg. He was shades of Takanori Sato against Eric Silva from years ago. We saw it recently with Paul Craig against Johnny Walker. Hammer fists on the on the low ankle. Let's put it that way. But a very, very good win. This is obviously a rematch, getting bit of retribution here. Omar El-Dafrawi, a very good performance from him, and he took home the $100,000 as well. Then we had an amateur showcase fight, and I'll be honest, this was really, really fun. Between two young women, 19-year-old Lilia Osmani against the 23-year-old Hatton Al-Saif, who's a bit of a star over in the Saudis. Osmani came out kicking, and then Hatton got a headlock takedown, but they got back up. Then Osmani got the headlock takedown, and when that happens in the first minute of the fight, you're going to know where this is going to go. Hatton was landing some good hands. And then she got on the back after Osmani went for a throw up to the clinch, and then a big slam for Hatton, and she landed some lovely ground and pound on top. And in the second round, Osmani came in with the flying kicks, went to the clinch, some fun exchanges after that. Hatton hurt her as Osmani spun and landed a big left hand, knees to the body from Hatton Al-Saif, and they got the finish there with knees to the body in the mid part of the 137 of the second round. But she looks a star, I saw a few people talking about it, her going pro. I think it's probably the right thing to do. Probably going to be up, the 100 and, maybe 115 pounds. I know this is 109 catch weight, but let's see it. Then we had Ali Taleb against Rashid Haas, a very, very high level fight. This was coming in, but the winner was always going to be, I think, Ali Taleb. He's such a top fighter, but it was a good start from Haas. He landed a lovely leg kick. And all of the early goings, really, Ali looked cocked and ready to land his shots, but Haas landed a jab. He landed another leg kick and a leg kick again. And I was thinking, okay, good start here from Rashid Has, but then there was a hard left hand by Ali, hurt Has badly, then stalked him, caught the foot, huge overhand right, dropped him, finished him, and that was that. Very, very quick. That's what Ali Taleb is all about. Big power. Rashid Has just could not live with him, and he took home the $1 million. Like, Ali Taleb was one of the standouts last year in the European side of it as well. Could have definitely won that, apart from a run into Khurshid Kakarov, wasn't it? Yeah. So a great win for him here. I tweeted it. Surely they're going to get the weight class into the global next year or the year after. I would love, maybe it's already happened. I'd love if there was an announcement coming soon about the weight classes, about the dates and everything like that, and let us get ready, I suppose, for next year. But I think Ali Taleb is a guy you have to have. He's done his stint in Europe. He's done his stint in MENA. I think it's time for this guy to move global and, be on one of those big stages. And, whether it's that or whether it's maybe over and give him a chance in Bellator and, give him a big fight. Give him, do you know what I'd love to see? Do you know what I'd love to see now? I'm a bit of bias here, but Ali Taleb against Brian Moore, 135 pounds. Let's see, whoever wins it maybe gets, number one contender or something like that. Apache mixes belt. I think that'd be a great fight. So let's see that. Let's definitely see that. I know it was on this podcast or the other podcast. We only had 2 decisions, and the next one was Mohammed Shafi against George Ade. Very interesting fight. This was the only close fight, I think, nearly of the night, in terms of we went to decision and we were thinking, who's going to win at the end. It was a very, very, very split. I think George Ade opened up with a jab, and he landed a lot of those throughout the night, to be honest. Mohammed Shafi had a high guard and walking around slowly. He landed a nice leg kick. Did Mohammed Shafi? Ade was landing his own leg kicks. And then he landed a lovely right hand after that. Good start to the fight. Very intriguing. Mohammed Shafi landed in an exchange. He was winging but missing. And Ade was kind of picking his shots. But, not many biding his time. Wheel kick missed for Mohammed Shafi. It was a very, very close round, And at this point, I was kind of thinking to myself, right, this is exactly what George Ade wants. Kind of, bide his time. Weather the storm, take away the thunderbolt, I suppose, from Mohammed Shafi, and I thought he probably won that round, but not by a whole pile. Then the second round, nice right hands from George Ade started it off. Mohammed Shafi was getting going now and throwing more. He landed a hard leg kick. He landed a hard right hand after a takedown attempt, and he landed another couple of leg kicks after it. Again, not a whole pile in the second round. I thought this one went to Mohammed Shafi, so I thought it was 1-1 at this stage. Could have been 2-0 to Mohammed Shafi. I didn't think Ade, wasn't a million miles away, but I didn't think he won the second round. In the third round, was a load of leg kicks, both just off on a load of shots. Mohammed Shafi, I think, at this stage, I began to think, and I know when the fight's very close like this, when there's not a whole lot landing, we were kind of thinking, like, where's this going? Sometimes, like, who looks aesthetically better? And I think Mohammed Shafi did. And I'm not talking about, the guy pushing forward versus the guy pushing back or anything like that. But, like, who looks like if they landed the harder shot, it's going to knock him out? Who looks like the shots that have landed? Who's, even though they haven't landed a whole lot, who's landing better in there? And I think, the answer was definitely Mohammed Shafi. Definitely, I think. He landed a lovely counter at one stage as well, landed a left hook. I've written after round 1, round 2, round 3, close. It really, really was. The only one that wasn't close, I think, was the fourth, or up to this point anyway. Mohammed Shafi landed some inside leg kicks. Ade was trying his tapping shots from the outside, which were relatively effective, but not effective in terms of, scoring highly maybe or anything like that. Both landing the exchange. Commentary was saying it's not a classic, which I think was very fair commentary, and I think people appreciate that as well. Don't try to sugarcoat it. Then George Ade got dropped just after that, which is like, okay, good, right, here we go. And Mohammed Shafi put on the pace and landed a few more. Mohammed Shafi was throwing bombs, but missed absolutely everything. And then George Ade got his legs back under him. There was a hard low kick from Mohamed Shafi, a back elbow from Aid, which I thought was actually a beautiful shot. Aid landed a switch knee in, which hurt Mohamed Shafi, but it was definitely a Mohamed Shafi round, the only clear one so far, but a good round that one. And then in the fifth, Aid was touching kind of lightly from the outside again, jumped in with a knee, but Mohamed Shafi counters were just better with the to the jumping knee, but to the other shots as well. Aid landed some nice kicks from the outside. Mohamed Shafi landed some leg kicks and some body kicks as well. Aid definitely picking the shots better here in the fifth. Mohamed Shafi threw in a takedown, but immediately got up. Good cardio on board. Late clinch and knees for Aid as well. So I thought Aid did pick off the fifth round. Now, could have gone either way, but I think who won the fight? Mohamed Shafi won the fight by a unanimous decision. I think it was a unanimous decision, yeah. And I think he was right. That was right. I think Mohamed Shafi was the better fight. Even though, I think I had it. I think I had it 48-47 Mohamed Shafi myself. But obviously when you're taking notes, when you're looking at the goings of the fight, it's very hard to score it at the same time when you're writing down the notes, I suppose, for a show like this. But there's no doubt about it. Having watched the fight, and not to go full one championship here or anything, but Mohamed Shafi was the better fighter, And this is from someone coming in who picked George Aid and gave him as one of my betting picks and all. I think Mohamed Shafi just showed a lot more. Aid was waiting too much and didn't take the initiative enough, and I think that matters in fights like this. And you have to give credit to Mohamed Shafi, even though he's older now. He's very young in his career. He doesn't have that many fights, and to go in there against someone like Aid, who is very, very talented, has a lot of fights, I suppose, outside of MMA as well, and to stand on the feet with him for most of the fight and beat him the way he did, he deserves massive credit, I think. And again, a force to be reckoned with. And another thing I'll add as well, for a guy that size, with that amount of muscle to keep your cardio as well as he did, absolutely fantastic stuff. So a brilliant performance from Mohamed Shafi, and from George Aid as well. But very good stuff there. I think you might be able to argue fight of the night was Mansour Barnaoui against Alfie Davis. A very interesting, enthralling kind of back and forth with adjustments from both throughout. I thought Mansour Barnaoui started brilliantly. He came out and he pushed the pace. Alfie, I thought he quickly weathered the storm by getting on his bike, but weathered it in a certain sort of area. Barnaoui started chasing him, and I thought it was like, okay, this is, when you're chasing a guy like Alfie Davis, probably not the best thing in the world to do, especially for Barnaoui, who maybe has shown in the past it hasn't always gone well for him, maybe later in fights, but he did start to land some nice shots. And when Barnaoui landed a jab and then a right hand, the chasing was working. The kind of the elusiveness wasn't working for Davis. So very good stuff from Barnaoui. Barnaoui got a necktie and got him with some strikes. Alfie fell off of a leg catch and Barnaoui landed on top. Alfie got cut in. There was some nice ground and pound from Barnaoui, who definitely won the round after being on top for ages towards the end of it. The second round was pure back foot stuff from Alfie Davis. Countering, landing some good counters, and this is where Barnaoui struggled a little bit, couldn't really catch him. Doing much better, both defensively and offensively, was Alfie Davis. Left hands from Alfie were very, very good. Look, lots of moving, not a whole pile landed, but what he did land was good. He was the only one landing anything in a round where not much landed. Barnaoui did get a clinch with 90 seconds to go, but it wasn't enough. It was definitely 1-1 after that. Then Alfie was attacking with kicks to start the third. The counters were making Barnaoui kind of run in, and he had no great success when he was doing that at this stage. Then a lovely Alfie uppercut. And you're kind of thinking here, okay, Alfie Davis has lost the first, he's won the second, and he's about to win the third here by opening up a little bit. A flying knee and a head kick from Alfie. He checked, he landed a lovely check right hook as well, which kind of hurt Barnaoui a bit. And you're thinking, okay, here we go. But then Barnaoui hurt him bad with a right hand. So much so he was completely on the back foot, poured it on against the cage. Alfie in big trouble, took the back. And when you've Mansour Barnaoui on your back and you're hurt, you know what's happening. Rear naked choke, lights out, got the finish. and that was that 3:41 of the third round. Very good fight. Very, very good fight. Good comeback from Barnaby after, it looked like the fight was going against him when he had won the first. I suppose the most hotly contested fight of the night was the next one between Slim Trabelsi and Abraham Babley. A very fun heavyweight fight. Two good guys at heavyweight, no doubt about it. Started off with a Slim head kick. Babley was switching stances. Slim kind of fails on a takedown. And that was big because they had a couple of hard exchanges, and I think Slim lost both of them. So you're thinking you've missed the takedown, you're losing the exchanges. This is a tough situation here for a guy Trabelsi who's dominated most of the guys he's fought. Slim threw a couple of right hands. They both landed, but maybe not as hard as he would have wanted them. Leg kicks from Slim, and then Slim caught a leg, but he can't get the takedown. Babley landed some left hands then, and he landed left hands throughout, and he landed some hard ones, and he landed a lovely one right on the bell as well, and I think he probably took that round. The second round then was a lot more Slim Trabelsi, apart from one big moment. So the start of the round, Slim landed a high kick again. Babley landed a side kick to the knee. There's a right hand from Slim, and it was definitely more on point now. He was missing a few, as I said, in the first round, but he was on point now. Slim landed a body kick, then he kicks from the outside were looking very good for him. Babley not landing much in the first half of the second round, but then Babley dropped Slim with a hard left hand. Slim recovered quickly, kind of bounced on his knee and got back to his feet. Babley was going forward now, but Slim got a takedown. Didn't hold it, but he got another takedown. Babley back up. Then there was another takedown. Slim close to the mount. Bit of heavy ground and pound towards the end of the round now. I think a lot of people would score that round for Babley, and I probably would too, but I definitely think there is a case for Trabelsi to win that round. But I would have had it 2-0 Babley at this stage. So we entered the third round in, and this was, obviously probably the closest maybe. Slim was backing up, closest. Closest is the wrong word. We'll go through the round first. Slim was backing up, and both started slow. Slim missed on a takedown, and both were landing straights down through the middle. Slim landed a lovely body kick, then a right hand, then a single leg. And that's where I thought it was close. And then it kind of turned after that single leg. When he got it, he moved to the mount nearly, landed some ground upon, gone to the half guard. And you're thinking at this stage, you're 2-0 down, right? And this was the kind of broken point I'm in there. The fight's close. The round is close. The round before was close. The first round was relatively close. You could be 2-0 down. You could be looking at being 3-0 down. But you could rob this round. But what he does instead of robbing the fight, taking the fight, having, how long was he on top? Maybe a minute on top towards the end? Go and take it and get the finish. But he didn't do it, and he took the round instead. And look, it worked out for him. He ended up winning. I think it was a split decision. It was. And I think he got away with that one. Honestly, I think he got away with that one. But, I think it's a good fight to go back and look at and improve from. But I think he did get away with that one. Then we had Gabriel Braga against Jeremy Kennedy. Kennedy, this fight feels like it happened about 14 hours ago, to be honest, and it kind of did. But Kennedy immediately got a takedown. He didn't hold it. Then Braga got a takedown. And he was turned around. Jeremy Kennedy was on top. Braga caught him with an elbow. Then Braga sting him on the feet for the last 2 minutes. Jeremy Kennedy was doing okay, and he was fighting back well, to be honest. And I remember watching Kennedy a few, he was supposed to fight someone in Ireland or something. I watched a bit of tape, and I was like, this guy is a talented guy. He's gonna cause a few shocks. And maybe it hasn't happened yet, but I still think it could happen maybe. And he fought very well here. The second round, Braga was striking, but Kennedy again was striking back. Kennedy got the clinch. Eventually, Kennedy kind of got a slam takedown into the ride, landed some knees, almost got the back, and Kennedy controlled that round. And then the third, loads of Kennedy clinching. He dived for a takedown. Whenever there was space in the last 90 seconds, Braga moves and gets to the ride, but very, very little happened there. And I was kind of thinking, honestly, at the end of it, maybe, did Kennedy do enough? But in the end, he didn't, and Braga won the decision there. But again, not a classic. That one was one of the ones that wasn't a classic. I'll tell you what was a classic, a very good fight was Acela Juge against Jose Perez. Really loved this fight. So Juge came out southpaw. Different level of striker immediately. You could see it. Landed a lovely side kick to the body twice. Loads of punches to the body. Hands upstairs too. And Perez just couldn't land. You know, he's on a completely different level. But then Perez got a takedown. He went for it, but it was pretty flimsy. And as Juge dominated in the clinch, Perez kind of pulled guard. Perez, you know, was going for an armbar. And it got him slammed. And then they got back up. Acela Juge landed that side kick again, and Perez, you know, he was quicker now. He was quicker now to grapple, and he went to a single leg. He managed to get it, takes the back, body triangle. Acela Juge defended well. Perez landed a bit on ground and pound, but not too much. Went for a twister, no good. Then Acela Juge was back to the clinch. Landed some knees and elbows, and it was definitely in the Acela Juge round. I know Dan Hardy said it was close. I don't think it was close at all. He destroyed him at the start. Did get taken down, but you know, there was nothing near for Perez there. Now the second was very, very different. Acela Juge landed 2 kicks to start it off. Perez was landing hard right hands that froze Acela, which was which was more like a shock maybe than anything, but he did. Then there was a clinch, and Perez jumped into the standing body triangle. He landed some nice elbows. Perez pulled him to the ground looking for the leg. Acela Juge kicked him in the body while they were standing and attached. And then Acela Juge got out and up. So you're kind of thinking, okay, he's going to take over now. And he did. He kind of picked him off for a while. And then Perez started to land a couple, and he got into the clinch again. They broke again, but Acela Juge kind of slipped, and Perez took the back. And a heavy ground and pound for Perez. Went for a rear naked choke, didn't get it. But Acela Juge looked very tired. He got mounted. Acela Juge was punching back from the mount, which is a terrible sign, but it was huge ground and pound from Perez, massive elbows, and I think he did enough to make it a 10-8 there. So you're thinking coming into the third, okay, this is trouble. And I think Perez probably has the initiative, and he might go on and take the third. Big uppercut from Acela Juge started the third. Perez dived in for a takedown against the cage. Acela Juge caught a guillotine, pulled it, and he got the tap very, very quickly in the third round. 1 minute, 10 seconds of the third round. So great stuff from Acela Juge. You know, he knew what Perez was going to do. I suppose he kind of set him up for it maybe a little bit in the third. Jumped on the guillotine and got the lovely finish up. Great comeback after maybe a 10-8 round too. So lovely stuff there from Acela Juge. And then the first, I said earlier, a fight was the quickest fight of the night. I was wrong, because 48 seconds, the first fight of the night from Casella Van Steenis. He needed this start of fight. I think that Casella landed some lovely leg kicks to start it off. Then head kick KO. And that's about it. Shin to the face, rock right into it, 48 seconds. Dan Hardy mentioned the middleweight tournament after this, and I couldn't agree more. I think we need a double season of PFL next year. 2 seasons. More weight classes, more fights. Let's go. Let's do a PFL. But great stuff from Costello Vancinis. Obviously, he is the win over Fabian Edwards. You'd have to think he's thereabouts for a title shot at Johnny Eblen as well. So, great stuff there. So those are all the fights. If you didn't see the top fights on it, let me just give you the results here. I have a full video out on them as well, so and please check that out. Please watch that for a full breakdown. But Timur Hizriev beat Brennan O'Knan by unanimous decision. Dakota Dacheva destroyed, really. Talia Santos finished her in the second round. Yashimura finished Kasanganai in the first round. Shamil Musayev finished Umalatov in the third, as did Rabadanov with Primus in the third round. And then Denis Goltsov triangle choked Oleg Popov in the very first round. So those are all your results from the PFL MENA showcase and top fights. As I said, please watch my other video with the PFL Global breakdown on it. Thank you for watching all season. I appreciate it, and I will have more videos before the year ends on a review of the whole season, a review of probably, I think I'll be doing one for PFL MENA as well, so keep an eye out on Sherdog for those. But until then, thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate it. From me, Sean Sheehan, I'll see you all next time.